Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Montega show on the Big Exclusive Network. It's been a couple weeks. I miss you guys. We're going to wait for a few people to get up in here in the comments. We got a guest for tonight. Y'all know every few weeks or so, I like to get into I guess you could say a serious conversation, but I like to dedicate it to the culture in a sense. But I'm going to get this out the way in the beginning of the show. We're going to go through the lineup real quick. Make sure y'all tune in each and every day on the Big Exclusive Network, be it for new content or for reruns. Starting off on Sundays, we have the Philadelphia Eagles Game Day Special, hosted by myself, Key Holmes, Jamal Jackson, and sometimes we have Big Roll and Angry OG show up. Sunday nights, which you're watching right now, the Poppy Montega show. Maybe hosted by myself, maybe hosted by one of my many personalities. Tonight we will be interviewing Bugs. I don't want to say too much because we're going to get into the conversation, but stand-up guy. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., sometimes until we have Keeping It Real with Big Roll in the mornings every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Tuesday evening, we have the Big Exclusive Podcast hosted by Angry OG, Big Exclusive, Comedian Top Flight every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Wednesday nights, we have The Formula hosted by Angry OG. And then we have The Rabbit Hole 13 hosted by Taj Mahal, Bianca Monroe, and they call him Mr. Cheese. Also, on Thursdays, we have Foreplay with B every Thursday night at 9. It gets a little spicy. It gets a little raunchy. It gets a little X-rated every Thursday night at 9 p.m. on the Big Exclusive Network with Foreplay with B, hosted by Bianca Monroe. We are looking for a host for a midday show. If you think that's you, send us a 1 to 2 minute video audition. Send it via inbox or email at therealbigexclusive@gmail.com. Tap in and join the team. Hashtag Big Exclusive Network. We building over here, people. We building. We are building. We are building. Let me see what we got going on here. I wanted to play a video, but we don't have it uploaded yet. We'll get to it a little later. Meantime, between time, I want to do a little segue into our guests. So, y'all know I'm one of the main people to talk about how when they show us on TV, they always show us, hey, Miss Carter, welcome, welcome, welcome. When they show us on TV, they always show the negative stuff in the culture. You know what I'm saying? They show us robbing, stealing, killing. You know what I mean? Failing. They show our culture just failing. You know what I mean? They don't really shine too much light on the good that's going on in the culture. They don't really shine too much light on the people that turn themselves around. They don't really shine too much light on the people that's trying to turn themselves around. You know what I mean? And I'm a big believer in the programming. You know what I mean? Like, the programming is real. Television programming, radio programming, all that stuff is real, you know, and I don't think that our culture really takes it that serious. We don't dig that when we turn on the news and the first thing that they show us is us killing each other. That affects your mindset. That affects your way of thinking. That affects how you move. That affects how you feel when you go out your doors. You know what I mean? And it's meticulously done. Some of y'all know that they recently put forth a curfew, and I can't say it's working. I can't say it's not working. What's up, Miss Bianca Monroe? But they recently are presenting it to the mayor for it to be permanent. Thanks for sharing, Miss Bianca Monroe, and don't dip out. How about that? Stick around. They usually let me rephrase that. Not they usually. They have submitted it for permanent to make this what is it called? Dag, I'm having a loss of words right now. To make the, what is it called when you got to be in at a certain time? I really can't believe this right now. But anyway, they want to make it permanent. They put it into play at the end of the year. Curfew, there you go. I'm sorry. The curfew. They want to make the curfew permanent. And a friend of the station, Clayton Bigsby Jr., made a video message, and he addressed it to council member at large, Kathy Richardson Gilmore. I ain't going nowhere. Okay, good. Thank you. And he addressed it to Catherine Richardson Gilmore. And after we play this video, I'm going to introduce my guests, and we're going to really dive into some of these topics. With that being said, can we get the video from Clayton Bigsby Jr., please? All right, let's try this again. Okay. Dear Council Member at Large, Catherine Gilmore Richardson, I'm Clayton Bigsby Jr., and first off, I want to commend you on all you have accomplished in representing this city of Philadelphia and the role model you are, especially for little melanated girls. I'm making this video to present a slight change to your permanent curfew bill that not only will drastically curb the crime rate, but it might even line you up to be mayor. And don't get me wrong, I think you will make an excellent mayor, although I'm a Republican. But now, be it red or blue, it's about making Philadelphia great again. So here's what I would do. You know that little roundhouse y'all's got down there on 7th Street? I would open that roundhouse back up, and when you pick these kids up after 10 o'clock, you take them down there automatically. Don't even try to take them home. Don't try to take them to no facilities, no other precincts. You take them down to that roundhouse, and you make them stay there a mandatory 12 hours. Now, a parent or guardian has to come down and get them. Now, you make it 12 hours because, look, half these kids you're going to be picking up between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. Now, that forces mom, daddy, uncle, whoever the caretaker is, to have to leave work and go down to that roundhouse to pick them up. Now, wait on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. The reason why I feel like this will work is because just recently in the audit, you guys said we don't have enough police in the district as is. And then the FOP turned around and said it's only 4 cops at any given time patrolling the whole district. So we got these police taking kids all over the place. They can't focus on the real crimes. But if we take them to that roundhouse and make them sit there for 12 hours and have the parents and guardians come down there and have to get them out and miss time from work, then that'll free up them officers because it'll be less kids to pick up. On top of that, it'll create more jobs in the city of Philadelphia for civilians. It's a recession right now, whether people want to admit to it or not. Now, that's just my little 2 cents on what could possibly make your bill work for the community. Now, everybody not going to like it. Everybody don't like what you got presenting right now. But I agree, changes need to be made. So by all means, Council Member at Large, Catherine Gilmore Richardson, you put this into play, it'll work, and you'll be our next mayor. Clayton Bigsby Jr. here, signing off. That message was brought to you by Clayton Bigsby Jr., the Black Republican. And his slogan is, why be an ass when you can be the elephant in the room? With that being said, I'm about to bring on our guest. Hey, Miss Bianca Monroe, thanks for sharing. Everybody that's in here, make sure y'all share. We're about to get into the conversation of the night. We got a stand-up guy named Bugsy taking the time out to tell us about his journey. Yeah, that's what I want to call it. I don't even want to say his life, his journey. And you know, I had some time to pick his brain a little bit. And it's going to be a nice, interesting conversation. Lamit, what's up, good brother? Nice informational too. I realize a lot of our viewers are county kids. So this is your peek into the trenches. With nothing more to be said, I would like to welcome a stand-up guy, Mr. Bugsy. What's up, good brother? Peace. Can you hear me? I think he might be muted. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me, Bugs? Can you hear me? That's on your end. That's on your end. All right, well, we'll try to get him to figure that out. Meantime, between time. What y'all think about what Clayton Bigsby Jr. had to say? Would y'all like to see more of Clayton Bigsby Jr.? Would y'all like to see more? How do y'all feel like that'll work? Talk to me. Good evening, Pop. Good evening. Hello, Miss Lily. Hello, Miss Lily. Did you miss the Clayton Bigsby Jr. video? Hello, Miss Mimi Santana. I like him. He cool. What you think about his message? What you think about his message, Miss Lillian and Miss Carter? Let me see. He's trying to fix the audio. Okay. I'm not a fan of Clayton, but his message to the councilwoman was a good one. I think would work. Why you not a fan of him? What say you? It would be a good start. I'm in the car, my way to the crib. Be right back. All right, Lamit. It was informative. Dag, Big E. You not a fan of Clayton Bigsby Jr.? Why wouldn't you be a fan of Clayton? Do you have no? I don't have him muted on this end. He has to leave out and click that link again and come back in. I don't know if he got a call or something while we was on. I don't like the Black Republicans. It's an oxymoron. Hey man, they're hilarious, aren't they? But I mean, what do you have to say about the Democratic people? They've been voting Democrat and ain't received nothing yet. If you are tuned into the show on YouTube, make sure you hit the follow button. Yes, for sure. Make sure y'all follow, like, share, comment. We waiting for Bugsy to get back on, and we about to dive into this interview. We about to dive in. All right, we got it. All right, so we got my man back in the building. I'm not gonna waste no time. Let's get stand-up guy Bugsy on the screen ASAP. What's up, good brother?
What's up, bro?
Peace. How you doing, man?
I'm alright. How about yourself?
I'm well. I'm well. I'm well.
Right.
Before we dive in, just tell the people a little bit about yourself. You know, where you from, stuff
Well,
like that.
my name's Selene. Street name Bugs, Bugsy Bugs, however you want to say it. I'm from Germantown, Wayne Avenue, the Happy Hollow. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Also from Logan as well. And I got a story to tell.
Okay. We're gonna dive into that a little bit. Tell us a little bit about your childhood. Did you grow up?
I my mom, Sarah Caesar, my pop, Wesley Howardson. You know what I'm saying? My mom and pop unfortunately had split when I was a kid. So I mostly grew up with a single parent. Other than my sister's father, he was there, and he went to jail in like '87. Yeah, went to the feds or whatever, in like 87, 87, 88, something like that. So a parent,
How old
a
was you
single
around
parent, a
this
single
time?
parent or two. At that
How old
time,
was
I was
you around the
probably
time your parents split?
I didn't have my father like in my life as a kid. You know, I was a baby. I don't even remember that when they split. But I'm talking about my stepfather. I had to be like around like 7 to 8 years old.
Oh
Yeah, around
wow.
that time. That's when they had broke up. So my mom was just like a single parent. Me and my sister.
Right. She worked. Mom worked.
Yeah, basically typical striving and trying to survive. Back in the '80s, she worked at she was doing like housekeeping.
Right.
She worked at the Stanger doing like motherfucking bartender and stuff like that. But yeah, she worked at doing housekeeping and worked at the Stanger.
Okay. So it was a lot of time with just the siblings, right?
Yeah. But she made it do what it do though. For the
Right.
best, for the hand that we had, she definitely made it do what it do. To be a single parent.
How would you say you how would and you know we be honest here. That's what we do on the network. I
Yeah,
don't
for
expect
sure.
nothing less from you.
Yeah.
Uh, what kind of kid would you say you was like in school?
Well, and you know,
And I'm talking about behavior wise. We ain't really diving into
yeah,
the grades. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Your behavior wise, I was, always I was a good kid though. I was a good young boy when I was, little. Then it ain't the ruckus ain't start until like around like I say fifth, sixth grade. You know, I
That's like
always
what
hung,
10, 11 years old.
yeah, about 10, 11 years old, something
Right.
like that. Yeah,
What you mean by the ruckus ain't start? What kind of ruckus? What you mean?
like far as the smoking weed and I always hung with people that was older than me. So I got my cousin Rick. He's 6 years older than me. So I was always following after people that was older than me. I never really hung with too many people that was my age. You know what I'm saying? Other than classmates and stuff like that. But outside of that, I always hung with people older than me.
So if you can't try to think back when you started smoking, right? Was it because you wanted to try it, or was it because everybody around you was doing it?
It's because everybody was doing it, and it was like the cool thing to do at one point in time. You
Right.
know,
Right. So first and foremost, I just want you to know some of the questions I'm asking is so people can see that times are as they've always been. You dig what I'm saying?
right?
For us as a culture growing up.
Hmm.
And although everybody's story ain't the same, there's a lot of similarities. A lot of people know Bugsy. You dig
Right.
what I'm saying? They know A Bugsy. A lot of people know A Poppy. A lot of people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
And
sure.
and and one thing we do on this network is we think it's healthy to have these conversations out in the open because a lot of people think that their situation is just their situation, not digging that 80% of your block is going through the same thing.
Right. Especially if you're in the ghetto.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So just understand that the questions that I'm asking, is strictly for transparency and strictly for learning purposes. You
Right,
know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
So
right, right.
if anything feel a little too touchy, just let me know and we can move on.
For sure.
So you said you hung out with the older cats and you started smoking around fifth, sixth grade. That's 10, 11 years old. So
Yeah,
we all know what come after that.
I was shooting dice. Then I started to shooting dice. You
So the
know,
dice came before the pack.
yeah, the dice came before the pack.
Okay.
Yeah, the dice became for the pack. And then and once the dice really happened was this, it was like seeing my mom struggle, and not only seeing my mom struggle, me wanting things and me having cousins and friends that I knew was getting whatever they wanted, and
Right.
I had to just settle for what she could, how much money she was bringing and what she could do, and me not understanding as a kid, it was hard. Shit was real. She was only making like $5 an hour. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? That was minimum wage back then. I remember one day I heard her and my aunt, her sister, my aunt Pat, they was talking and my mom was crying and she was just like, shit tight, man, shit is real, like it ain't what it used to be, and she only making $5, this is not. So I overheard the conversation. So I walked out the crib and I was crying, and my cousin was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Man, my mom only make $5." So instantly, I'm thinking when I heard $5, I'm thinking $5 a week. I'm like, "Man, I
Right.
gotta do something." I'm like, I gotta
It
do
wasn't
something.
quite that bad, but
Yeah, yeah. I ain't, I didn't know it was $5 an hour. I used to bag bags at Acme. There used
right.
to be an Acme over at Alney, across the street from Alney High School. I used to bag bags there. That was my first little hustle. That shoveling snow, you know what I'm saying, and shooting dice. I used to have a homie named Bones, you know what I'm saying, from over Alney. And when I was a kid, me and him, we was the youngest out of the group, and we used to just go around, and he taught me actually how to shoot dice. You know what I'm saying? And I started shooting dice, we smoking weed, drinking 40s, you know, the typical shit the young boys, would do. At the time, my pop wasn't really around like that. My pop was getting high at the moment. He didn't come down. He didn't come back until like later on in life. You know what I'm
So
saying? But
would you say, because what I'm getting is the typical, you wasn't a bad kid, you became a victim of your circumstances.
right, for sure, a product of your environment.
So when you dove out there into the streets, right? When you jumped off the porch, when did you feel the need to have protection?
What you mean by protection, though?
Uh,
And a
what
protection of what, though? What
when
you
you
saying
hear
from the
when you hear
streets?
protection, what do you think of? Whatever was the first thing that
So
popped to your
so
mind.
so so you asked me when I start carrying guns. I started the gun shit. I say I say 14, maybe 15. That's when the gun shit start coming involved. And that's just me following after the older crowd and the so-called old heads, and not even really the old heads, just my homies in the crowd. And
So you didn't feel like you needed it at 14. You
I
just
ain't
wanted
needed it. I ain't needed it. It was just a thing to do.
right,
It was the thing to have. Some people, a lot of us didn't carry guns back then because it made you feel like something. It made you feel like you had some type of power. It
right,
made you just feel like you was the shit. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
What up, Warren? We got Warren just stepped in the building. We got Kenneth Trower telling you to speak your heart, bro.
For
My
sure.
man Bugs coming from Kevin Smith. And Miss Jackson said Bugsy's suggestions was great. I'm all for it. My concern are those children are beefing throughout our city. Placing them together in cells will bring fights amongst one another. We're gonna definitely get into that, Miss Jackson. We definitely gonna get into that. We going down the timeline. We going down the
Right.
timeline. So you said it was pretty much, being in the in crowd on why you started carrying protection, not necessarily on why you started getting money. You started getting at $1 because your family needed it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I mean, you was fucked up and you young, you want things.
What up,
You want
Wolf? Wayne Ave, bottom side.
for sure.
Shout out to Wayne Ave in the building. Some of y'all might not know
Absolutely.
me. I'm from Manheim and Pulaski. Shout out to
Right,
Wayne Ave. I went to Kelly. I went to Pickett.
right.
But yeah, so what I was getting at is eventually typically what happens to us in those type of situations, we inherit beefs.
Right.
Did you have any experience with that? Did you inherit any beefs from being in the in crowd or from being around the old heads or the other dudes? Like, you know what I mean? Did that get you into some stuff that
I didn't really inherit any beef. Any beef that came my way was my own beef. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? Mostly the people I hung around it wasn't no suckers. Like,
right,
whatever niggas stand on what they do. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So whatever beef I went through was because of I went through it was my own beef. Or unless I inherited one of my homies. Of course you gonna always when you got friends, your beef is mine. You know what I'm saying? That's at least how it was back then.
Kevin Smith. No, go ahead. I was saluting him for what he said in the comments. I'm listening to you though, bro.
I mean, that's how it was back then anyway. You always going to when you got friends, you going to inherit anything they go through, you going to go through it.
Right.
You going to go through it with them. As a true friend. That's how a friend's supposed to be anyway. That's how it's supposed to go. Nowadays, it's not like that.
That and you know what? That brings up a good point for the conversation that I was waiting for a chance to compare our times and today's times.
Right.
And to me, that's a good point right there. A lot of these kids today, for one, well, let's get this part out the way. We've been carrying guns in middle school.
For sure.
That
For
ain't nothing
sure.
new.
For
You know what
sure.
I'm
For
saying?
sure. Right.
And I'm speaking as a culture, and somebody might be in the comments like, not me. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
talking about you in particular.
Right.
But we've been carrying guns since middle school. So that's
Right.
not new. All
Right.
right. But the action that we getting into is something completely different, bro. It's something completely different.
Well, what I
And you
will
go ahead.
go ahead. What I
I was
will
gonna say
say,
you just touched on it by saying, yeah, you may have inherited a little bit of beef by being around certain cats, but at the same time, anything that came your way was yours.
yeah,
It ain't like that now, bro.
it ain't like that. And a lot of these guys, like what I want there, what about point that I wanted to make that back then we used to rumble. We ain't had no problem rumbling. Don't get me wrong, the guns was around, the guns was there, but it was never no problem with rumbling. We
Right.
definitely used to rumble. It ain't no rumbling. You might as well forget that shit. You know what I'm saying? Only thing you gonna be rumbling is for your life. So you
Yeah.
think you gonna play with one of these young boys, old heads, people, period. As fucked up as that way though. People can't take an ass whooping and you know what I'm saying, accept it. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I like to be logical and fair on my show. Uh, that leads me to another question. Do you feel as though some of that is our bad?
That what these kids can't take an ass whooping?
That this generation is doing what they're doing?
I mean,
Because we only a generation
it,
or
it,
two
it,
away.
don't get me wrong. It's always we always anytime you in the streets, you always a part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? But it's like some people
I'm not necessarily talking about the streets. I'm talking about our age group. I'm talking about our generation.
yeah, that's what I'm about to get into. Our generation is not right there. There's a generation before us. You know what I'm saying? So right now is my kids' generation or whatever. So is the my young boys supposed to whatever I put into my young boys was supposed to put into them. You know what I'm saying? So my generation was supposed to put into people that's 30 and younger, down 30 to 20. You know what I'm
So
saying?
that's
30
what I'm
to
saying. Do you
25.
feel like some of that is our bad because we didn't instill it in them right to pass it down?
Yeah, because a lot of I know I always try to put it into them, but a lot of us don't take the time out to bust it up with the young boy and give him the jewels.
Right.
So many motherfuckers is just so self-centered and it's all about money, 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 money. It's not about nothing else that you don't even take the time and you know, and bring the young boy up on the shit he do. Just people, period. You got to
Right.
hold people accountable for their actions out here. And a lot of niggas out here are yes men.
And you know what? That's my angle right there, bro. Like no generation is excluded. You dig what I'm
Right,
saying? Like depending on who you talk to, they like to kind of separate their generation from what's going on within the culture. And
right.
it's like, no, we all gotta bite this. Let me
Yeah,
read
for
this
sure.
comment. The more that's put on our parent or OG's plate, the less attention we can pay to those we need to pass it down. It's hard to take time working 3 jobs. I agree, Warren. And that's part of my point that I'm trying to make. Not saying you, not saying me, but a lot of our generation still complaining about what the generations before us did. That shit is dead, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, the only thing I expect from the generations that came before me is respect. A lot of them is disrespectful, bro, and they think it's because of their age they can be that way. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I demand from them. But when it comes to us changing what's going on, bro, I really think it's like we the old heads when it come to that, bro.
Yeah, facts. But you know what these young boys know what they saying is now. We don't have no old heads. They think it's thorough to say that they don't have old head.
But that's
You know what I'm
our
saying?
bad, bro.
Huh?
That's our bad. I'm not talking about you, and I'm talking about as a
Yeah, I
culture
know. I
because a
know what
lot
you're
of
saying.
times
I know what you're
if you
saying.
talk to a lot, they be like, "Man, fuck them young boys."
Yeah,
Like, you know what I'm
because
saying?
I understand why some people say it. It's not cool to say you shouldn't just give up on them because you can't teach no one that know everything. These young boys think they know it all, and then you trying to teach it to them. You break it. If you give them a little constructive criticism, they don't know how to take it.
But
You know what
it's
I'm
the same
saying?
thing with our generation, though. Not all of them.
Yeah,
We can't give up on the whole generation.
yeah. But like you said, well, it ain't how you do it. It's not what you do; it's how you do it. And then
Right.
what you say is how you say it. You got to give it to them. You can't give it to them too raw, but you got to give it to them just enough so they can get it. You got to ease your way in on that shit.
And you know what? That leads me to another point. I feel like a lot of us forget when we was that age, bro. And
Yeah,
that and it's critical for us to remember being that age because that affects how we can communicate with them. We can't communicate with them from where we at. We've
right,
been their age. They ain't never been our age before. Like you dig what I'm
right,
saying?
right, right,
So
right,
they don't
right.
really understand what we talking about. We really gotta talk to them from an 11th grade perspective,
Yeah,
a 10th grade perspective. Like you dig what
I,
I'm saying?
I tell my kids that shit all the time. I say, when I ask them a question, just they movement, I watch the way they move, and they think they trying to get a one over on me, but they don't understand. They come from me for number one. Two, I've been your age, and the
Right.
same shit you trying to kick, I already done it. I've been there. The
I know
same
what you
lie
trying to
I
set up.
used that same lie before, bro. Like you tripping.
All right, we're gonna get back to your story. That was a nice point that I wanted to it came up. I wanted to talk on that real quick, build on that. But back to your story. When was the first time you got booked?
um, First time I got booked, juvenile. I had a juvenile. I only had one juvenile case. I'll never forget this shit. It was one mischief night, and we was going back Pulaski Town, and it's a mob of us. This was like 90, 96, 97, something like that, 96 or something like that. And we was going back Pulaski Town, and we was throwing eggs and shit. And my young boy Nail, he threw a rock. You know what I'm saying? He threw a rock at one of them housing cops and hit the cop in hit the cop in the vest, whatever. He started chasing us, and I got booked. I got booked for it or whatever. You know what I'm
How
saying?
you
That was
get
my
booked for
first.
that?
That was my first juvenile, Jane. Fat nigga couldn't move fast enough.
Oh, so at
And then
least
one
you
thing,
was honest. I
I had to
respect your
bite. I had to
honesty.
bite that one. I had to bite it. So fuck it.
Dang, that's a crazy first joint, bro. I wasn't expecting it. So
Yeah.
your first joint was for a rock that you ain't even throw.
Yeah, so it was like assault on a that shit bit me in the ass later on in life too.
Oh,
That's when
hold
a
up, you
lot of
got
us
found guilty of that?
Yeah, I got found guilty on that. Yeah, I
Oh
got
yeah,
found
that ain't
guilty. So
funny.
that was assault. That was assault on a housing cop or whatever. Um, they gave me a year probation for that. They gave me a year probation for that. Second time I had got booked was 2001, January 3rd, 2001. Um, I'm on around my way on Wayne Avenue, and I'm out there grinding or whatever, and me and one of my homies, me and my old head June sitting inside the track crib or whatever, and we watching TV and shit, and I hear boom. I'm like, oh shit, what's that? You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
that was the ram batter or whatever, and that's when they coming in. As they coming in, I'm trying to stuff my pack down in the couch or whatever, and then that's when I got booked. That was my first drug case. I was
How old was you then?
I just turned 19. No, I was 18. I was just about to turn 19. You know, and I got
Now
booked on that.
answer me this, right? And this, I just thought of this question. At any given time, did you ever try to go get a 9 to 5?
I did. I had a 9 to 5. I actually, when I was a kid, I was too young to have working papers. You know what I'm saying? I was too young
Mm,
to have working papers. I had two summer jobs. I had
right,
two summer jobs. I had one at Simon Gratz. Two, it was like a summer class joint. They paid you. My first job was $80 a week. My second job was $60 a week. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Like, what could I really possibly do with it? But I was thankful for it because I could buy my little sneakers, or if I wanted to go to Franklin Mills and go buy me a little shirt or two or whatever. To take some of the slack off Mom Dukes.
right.
My first adult job, I worked at a factory. I had just graduated high school, and I worked at a factory stocking. Yup, I worked at a factory stocking. And the second one, I worked at a market, supermarket, doing stocking again. But I had the first job, I had got shot. I was still
You
in the
got shot at
streets.
work?
No, I was because after I would leave from work, I would go on the block or whatever. You know
Put the
what I'm
camera back
saying?
when we can't see you.
I said after work, I would
No, I
go to
said,
the
yeah, there you go. Yep.
after work, I would go to the block. So I had we had not without getting too all into it. I had got into a little
Yeah, that's cool.
situation. We got into a little situation with some other niggas or whatever that we had took this block from or whatever, and I had got into it with them. Put it like that.
So it was something that was
Nobody
building up.
died.
It
Put it
wasn't
like
something
that.
random.
But it wasn't something random. I got into it and I got shot or whatever. So
Right.
that was just like I just had graduated high school too. On that I had got shot. So yeah, I had two jobs in my life.
Okay. Okay. So you graduated high school?
Yeah, I graduated from Germantown High, 2000,
Salute.
99, 2000.
What was, if you can remember, what was your plan like coming out?
My plan was to play football. I always had a passion to play
Right.
football. I played for the G, 99, uh, 99 went undefeated that whole year. I got a championship with them. Um, there was a couple colleges that wanted me to come to their school and go for orientation and all this. And I remember one year I had I had orientation. I think it was for Cheney or something like that, and it was on my anniversary. And on my anniversary, I had to go to the bank. I had got some case money. I had to go to a bank. So they wanted me to come up there, and they was like, "This is the only day he could come up there." So in my head, I'm like, "Man, they fuck tripping." I'm getting ready, I'm ready to go to that bank so I could go ahead and flip that money or whatever. So I'll go ahead and bust a move or whatever. And I ain't even go to the Cheney shit. But my thing was to play football. either play football or I like to do the film, and I like fashion.
Right.
Yeah, but I was just
Okay.
so caught up in that street shit, man.
So, what do you think from your experience compared to what's going on today could be done differently for a lot more of us to be able to obtain those things that we plan on doing when we graduate high school that a lot of us typically get turned away from due to life, not necessarily because we lazy or because we give up, but because life comes at you fast. You know what I'm saying? So
Um,
what are some things that you feel like can be put into play today that can turn that around for the culture?
for one, these young boys gotta want something. They gotta want something out of life. They gotta have a vision.
Well,
Cause
I'm saying
it's like,
without putting it on them, without putting it on them.
I'm about to get into it. But I
Okay.
mean, because I could do whatever. I could talk to them all day. I could say do this, do this. None of that don't mean shit if you don't want it. They gotta want it for first of all, it's gonna take a lot of the older guys in the community and a lot of us to step up and just communicate with them and try to show them that there's a better way than just getting into the street shit. You know, the
But
street shit ain't.
do you feel like a lot of them don't listen because they don't see a lot of success from us? I'm talking about as a culture. You muted your mic. You muted your mic, bro.
Yeah, that plays a heavy role in it. If they don't think you got the Benz, or if you ain't got the Rolex, or we so easy to be bought with this materialistic shit. Because
Right.
you know it's so easy to fool you when people put their persona on, like they getting this, they doing this and that because of the materialistic shit, and they'll rather listen to that person than listen to the person with the Timex on and a pair of Wranglers. You know what I'm saying? But it got all the knowledge in the world and is actually really making something happen and doing things. But they're rather the guys they see in the street with the Benz, the Lexus, and you know everybody wants to be on a winning team. Nobody wants to be with a loser. They think you're a loser if you don't have that materialistic shit.
Right. Do me a favor, put the camera back on you. We about to dive into these comments real quick. Before I read these comments, everybody that's viewing right now, hit that share button. The conversation about to get deep. We're about midway through the journey, and I have some questions in mind already. Right now, let me see. Carnell Grazier said, "Us as men, we have to get back into the household. We have to stop being their friends and be their parents again." I strongly agree. Mr. Kevin Smith, everything Bugs is talking about was at the height of the crack era. I wouldn't necessarily say the height of it. I'll say the tail end of the crack era. But
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. Tony Carter, hi people. What's up, Tony Carter? Facts, agreeing to what you were saying. Mr. Grazier said facts, they gotta want it. Melly Schuller is in the building. Good evening, Mr. Schuller. Vanessa Bell is saying right. I'm assuming that she's agreeing with what you was just saying. Like I said, everybody that's in here right now, make sure y'all hit the share button. This next question is for actually everybody. Although we're having this conversation on screen, this is an interactive show, so feel free to add your 2 cents. Bugsy, what do you feel like we can do, and not necessarily you and I'm talking about as a culture, as a community, what do you feel like we can do to stop the killing or at least slow it down?
man, for real, it's gonna take them rappers. It's gonna take them rappers, man, to really talk to these young boys. Cause that music shit, man, music could get you in trouble, man. That
Mm-hmm.
music shit is like really like spiritual, man. Like that shit, like a lot of people that don't have old heads ain't got fathers. Music is they old heads and they fathers. And you got to be careful who you let your child and what you let your child listen to and watch. You know what I'm saying? And like a person said, stop trying to be their friend. It's okay to have an open relationship with your child, and you know they can talk to you about anything, but also let you know I'm your parent. I'm not your friend. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta, you gotta know how to put them in their place with when it comes to shit like that. All I can say is play your part, man. And then everybody got a part to play,
Right.
and get involved, start having all these kids and having babies, and just leave them on single mothers, man. Same thing for mothers too, though. Some mothers they leave them on single fathers. It ain't just always mothers that's singled out here. There's fathers that's out here that's single. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And
Speaking
just
of
trying to
that,
make it do.
I want to salute my guy Big Exclusive because he's one of those fathers that you talking about, man. He got both his girls, single father. You know what I mean? In the comments, Carnell Gracier, and who said we had to have this stuff? Uh, Give me a little more insight on what you're talking about, Mr. Grazier. Vanessa Bell, it will change your vibe and attitude. She's referring to the music. Yes, I strongly agree. Mr. James Williams says, I'm tapped in, Bugsy. I'm tapped in. Let me see. Got to use what the kids idolize against them, which is their idols. That would be the biggest impact. Also, got to set a new standard and show them a new way of being cool. That was from Mr. Melly Schuller. Now,
For sure.
a big question that we have here on the network is a running question on everybody's show, bro. When we're talking about this, especially, how do we get everybody on the same page at the same time?
Uh, I think you need to go back to like community meetings on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? I think because people don't know how to communicate with one another. Some people are afraid to even communicate with one another. It all starts with communication and involvement. That's, you know what I'm saying?
Mr. Schuller, Mr. Schuller just said you can't because of how society is. I'm gonna disagree with that. Mr. Kevin Smith said it's the type of music they're listening to. They're on that drill rap and they're beefing on social media. I strongly agree, Mr. Kevin Smith, but is that our bad or is that their bad? Mr. Grazier said the material stuff. Okay, I understand what you're saying now, Mr. Grazier. Yeah, back to what Mr.
Yeah,
Smith said, it's the type of music they're listening to. They're on that drill rap and they're beefing on social media. That kind of go back to what you just said though, Bugsy, as far as music is raising a lot of our young boys. Be
yeah,
it we in jail, be it we in the grave, be it we just being a ignorant father, not being in our kids' life. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of our bad because
and and you know what another thing I'm gonna say, yo, bro.
go ahead.
Um, Not to jump ahead of times. When I one day I got I was going up for parole, and the lady said to me, she said, you a problem. You the problem with what's going on in society. And I'm like, damn, why would you say I'm the problem? I had got locked up. I had went to jail. I got locked up with an AR-15 or whatever, and they had just some one of them boys came in that school called Sandy, and they had shot that school up with that same weapon. So they had gave me a hit for that or whatever. But she said, you never know who's watching you.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? You never know who's watching you, man. And that's prime example, bro. When I was fucked up when I was a kid, man, just seeing the old heads from around my way and what they doing and how they was doing it made me want to get some money. Not
right.
not just being fucked up. Being fucked up plays a part too, but when you got them real life street stars in your community or whatever, and they doing what they doing, man, that
Right.
shit is like almost somewhat hypnotizing you to want to, you know what I'm saying, get to it and get
I
to some
want
paper.
I want to address something real quick in the comments. First, I want to bring up Miss Bianca Monroe. She said, we got to get back to community in general. That you can't say nothing to my kid pretty much started it all. Edward Odom is agreeing with you, said that's real shit. Mr. Melly Schuller says, let me scroll back up. Mr. Melly Schuller says, the reason I say that is because you got folks that purposely go against the grain. Like they get off on being the I feel you on that, Mr. Melly Schuller, but to say can't My daddy told me never to use the word can't, so that's all. That might be something personal.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna get to that Mr. Williams part. Mr. Grazier said, "I always say if every woman cut her hair, who we gonna be with? Answer them bald heroes. We put too much into material things." I agree. I agree. Miss
Right.
Jackson is saying yes. I want to address this comment from James Williams because the "you should know" part is the part that kind of made me go like this. He said, "I see you have your Star of David, which you should know that it's a part of our downfall with God." Mr. James Williams, first and foremost, I want to commend you for noticing my Star of David. The part that kind of threw me off, like I said, was the "you should know." Understand that we're having this build for everybody to kind of get on the same page. If I talk where I'm at, it's going to go over a lot of people's head, and I'm saying that with the utmost respect. You dig what I'm saying? I'm saying that with the utmost respect.
Facts.
So we're building in front of people so people can kind of grasp and
Right.
spark their own ideas on what they can do to contribute to us getting our culture together. If you're interested in the Star of David talk and that extra esoteric knowledge, by all means, subscribe to the Big Exclusive Network, and you could go look at a lot of my older shows, and I dive into that, especially Smoke and Mirrors. There's some shows called Smoke and Mirrors. I dive into all of that. But I want to commend you for noticing the Star of David. Mr. Bugsy, so at what point in time did you realize, damn, I got to do this differently? If not for the culture, because some people are not even thinking for the culture. You dig what I'm saying? Which is cool. That's okay. But what
Or
I'm
what you
saying is,
saying when
a
you
lot of
saying
us get to a point where it's like for instance, myself. I got away from doing the being on camera and making music. I got away from all that, and then I had an epiphany one day. Like, bro, I'm one of the most talented people in my circle. With all due respect, I'm one of the most talented people in my circle. It would be
yeah,
selfish of me to take this to the grave and not at least
right
try.
shit, right.
You dig what I'm
Facts, bro.
saying? At least
Facts.
for my kids, at least for my homies, at least for my aunts, at least what you dig what I'm saying? If not for the
Facts.
culture. Hopefully
Facts.
it vibrates out and affects everybody. But
Right.
I would be a fool to take what I know I possess to the grave.
That'll be
So
like
when
that'll be
did you
very
have that
selfish.
point?
I had that point was like I had came home. I've been wanting to get out the street shit. I've been in the street shit for the longest, man. Too long. I've been in it so long that I started to realize that I wasn't giving myself a chance. You know what I'm saying? I got so much to offer, and I'm not even letting myself shine because I'm so caught up with this so-called fast money, and it
Mhm.
ain't even fast no more. That shit slow as shit. My uncle had said to me one day, he said, "Are you getting money or do you got a job?" You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between getting money and there's a difference between going out there and making pennies and
When you
and that's when
calculate
you
the hours, right?
yeah, that's when you realize there's too much risk and not enough reward. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? But I had came home from jail. When I came home from jail, I'm not gonna sit here and give you the story. Oh, I had a dream and I wanted to do this and this and that. When I came home from jail, I got right back into it.
Mm-hmm.
But and deep inside of my heart, I knew this is not what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? I was asking God to help me get away from it. I was asking the Lord to help me get away from it, man. And like I said, you having nightmares and you're not having a peace of mind. You're constantly looking over your shoulders.
Put the
Uh,
camera on your face, bro.
you constantly looking over your shoulders.
Right.
When you driving, you looking more in your rear view than you looking in your front windshield because you're constantly worrying about is the police getting behind you. That's no
Mm-hmm.
way to live, man. What they call that whatever that PSD shit.
PTSD.
Yeah, man, that shit
That's
is
real
real,
in the
man.
hood.
That
That's
shit is
real in the
real,
hood.
man. You you in the bed sleep the slightest motherfucking noise you hear, because you always got to be on point. Even when you at your home, you're supposed to be able to let your guard down. Nah, you always on point. Like you
Bro.
always on point, man. You hear somebody knock at the door, your antennas go up. Like that shit ain't no way to live though, bro.
I be like, hold, you call somebody coming over for you?
Yeah, that
Oh
shit ain't.
no, bro. If we not expecting you, I got the joint with me, bro.
Yeah, like
If I'm
that's
not expecting you and you knock at my
yeah,
door, I'm answering it with my buddy.
yeah. But that ain't. That's not a way to live, man.
Yeah.
That's not a way to live, and not just only that. I was in jail, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did a year in the county. I did 3 up top, and the being without a woman, the being without having my freedom, the being without your family, you know, the smell of a woman, all that's fine and then that's cool. Like my bed, okay, I made it. Now it's time for me to lay in. It is what it is.
What's
But
the
the
longest bid
moment,
you did?
huh?
What's the longest bid?
Was that was the longest bed. I was never no vicious and no in and out of jail, nigga.
Right.
And I never was one of them to keep going back and forth to jail or whatever. I've been in jail a couple of times, but that was the longest bid I did. But the my oldest kids, my oldest daughter and my son, my youngest actually, they mom took a year for them to bring them to come see me. I only seen them once the whole time I was booked. And she brought them to see me. And my son at the time, he's 5. And he comes in the visiting room. And I'm telling you, man, when he was breaking down crying, it was time for him to go. And he break it down. He's like, come on, Dad. He's like, come with me, please, Daddy. Come with me. You know, that right there, I don't give a fuck how strong you is, how much of a gangster you are. That shit will destroy you if you're a parent. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? If you a man that love your child, your children, you a
Mm-hmm.
parent that love your child, that mentally, like everything else, like fuck it, cool. All right, it is what it is. It's time to lace up your boots. You know you gotta stand what you do in life. But that right there, that shit'll break you. That shit'll break you a lot, and I had you thinking.
Let
And
me
it,
see.
like a lot of
We got a comment here. I was at my little bro crib playing spades. Oh, one of his homies bust through the door without knocking and came in loud as hell. I straight grabbed the hammer and aimed it. They was like, "Damn, Melly, really? Yeah, mother." Good. Mr. T Max said, "Real talk." Yeah, man, that's what he talk about, Mr. Melly. Like the fact that we have to be like that. That's
see
not even
Malkovich.
overreacting today. That's not even overreacting. You muted your mic again, bro. But yeah, that's not even overreacting these days because if you not on point like that, that might be the last knock you hear.
You got to, you know, even when I'm outside, motherfuckers be bidding. I'm like, damn, bro, what? That shit like you got whiplash. I'm constantly like this.
Yeah,
I'm
bro.
constantly like this. You know what I'm saying? You constantly like that shit is bad, bro. That's bad, man. That's bad. That ain't no way to live, man.
But the fact that everybody has to live like that today is a problem, bro. People that's not even in nothing got to keep their head on the
Yeah,
swivel today.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Facts.
is women and kids is fair game today. You see how many women
That,
been shot
and
and murdered this
bro,
year in the
and
city?
then that's another thing. In my day when we was growing up, women and kids was off, like all
Yeah.
off back. You know, you don't touch nobody, woman or their child or whatever. You give a nigga a pass. You know what I'm saying? You
Even if
give a
they with
nigga a
they women and
pass,
they
man.
kid, you catch them the next time you see them, but not today, bro.
Yeah, not today. They hitting you and fucking around hit your child too.
Look,
And
Mr.
that's
Odom
bad.
said, even if you're not in the streets, you gotta have it on you. Facts.
Yeah. Would you say I'd rather pick 12 and carry by 6?
Mm-hmm.
And that's real rap though.
So me and you, we had a conversation off air a couple weeks ago, and you was telling me some things that you was working on, some things that you was trying to bring to the forefront to kind of tell your story along with other stories. You want to talk about that a little bit?
I So when I came home from jail 2015, I got a homie named Drew. You know what I'm saying, little man from over Logan or whatever, and he he was like, yo, I'm in a movie or whatever. So I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here, I'm like, seriously? Like, yeah. So he plays it for me. So it was a TV show called Old Head, and the young boy Tony Chenault is the producer of it. And I'm like, damn, bro, I need to get involved with that. That's something I got a passion for.
Right.
I got a passion for that, bro. I need in on that. So he introduced me to my little homie, the young boy Tony Chenault, man. When I say a genuine stand-up person, man, like all salute, and you know what I'm saying, and respect to the young boy, man. I like what he was doing. So season 2 was coming. It was like, all right, well, I want to pick your brain. We'll have a meeting. We'll sit down and do lunch or whatever, and we'll talk. So he liked my ideas. So he gave me audition. So I was auditioned for, but I became a writer on it as well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So season 2 and 3, I did with him. So it's like,
Is that
all
on
right,
YouTube? Where can we
it's
see
on
that?
YouTube. It's called Old Head, OLDHEAD.
Okay.
They got season 1, 2, and 3. Season 2 and 3, I'm a part of. I was on part of the writing team and I act on it.
Okay.
But just not even to forget what I was just saying, but I had an accident happen to me 2019. I was asking God to help me get out these streets, and I need to be done with this, and I'm tired, man. I lost my leg. I lost my leg or whatever. Now, when you ask God for these blessings, He may not give it to you how you want it to happen,
Mm-hmm.
but eventually, in every action and every situation you go through, try to seek some good in it. This was his way of getting me away from the streets, out the streets, or whatever. So
And
I'm
not
sitting.
not to cut you off, but you brought it up, and I know people gonna want to know. How did you lose your leg? Was it to some street shit, or was it due to health issues? Like,
Well, no, it was an accident.
okay,
It was an accident. I got into an accident or whatever. You know what
okay,
I'm saying? And I lost my leg or whatever. And damn, what I was saying, I'm trying to figure it out. Now I can't rip and run up and down the street. I can, but I can't. For one, I'm not a rat. And what I mean by I'm not a rat, because I don't want to go to jail. I have kidney failure as well.
okay,
And I have no leg. Who wants to be sitting in the jail inside a motherfucking box behind a wall? Can't really protect yourself. Gotta be miserable. You're already miserable in that joint. But in those conditions,
right,
only way you're gonna get out of there is if you beat the case or you won't tell. It's too much. It's too much for me to. It's too much for me to risk. So
right,
you got to know when to fold your hand. You got to know, say, man, I got to be done with that shit. So you constantly like, yo, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? I know I'm very good with the dressing thing. Two, I know I'm very good with the writing thing. I come from an iconic neighborhood. The neighborhood that I'm from, man, it's on the map. Anybody that's old school, even some of the newer guys know about the Hollow, Wayne Avenue. There's a lot to be talked about. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't always just about people just think about, your typical documentary. I'm making a documentary of it, and it's got to be about street shit or just drug shit. I mean, don't get me wrong, that comes with it, but we got a lot to offer more than just drugs and
right.
and glorifying the violence and all the other bullshit.
And you know what? You brought up Wayne Ave again, and I would feel like I'm doing a disservice if I didn't mention this. R.I.P. to Spinach, man.
Absolutely,
R.I.P. to
absolutely,
Spinach, man.
man.
We're not gonna mention Wayne Ave too many
Absolutely,
times
man.
without
Well,
mentioning
we
Spinach,
got
bro.
to, mention Youngin, Lil Maurice, man. Lil
Yeah,
Reese, man, Spinach, man. Definitely a talented kid, man. And
yeah,
that's another thing. You got talent and you not. That's two things. I had made a post one day. You don't want to waste your time and you don't want to waste your talent, man. You don't want to waste time, man.
Oh my
Time,
goodness.
time for sure you don't want to waste, man. 20 years I fly by you so motherfucking fast, and you be like, damn. And then you think about what did I do? What did I accomplish? What good am I? Like,
Bro, you familiar with Les Brown?
no, Les Brown. I'm not
So
sure.
I'll be listening to motivational speakers and all that, right?
Yeah,
And it's this one dude. He was a pastor and a motivational speaker. I think it's
right,
Les Brown. I believe it's Les Brown. I could be wrong, but Les Brown is also a motivational speaker too. But I
right.
could be wrong on quoting this to be him. But he was telling a story, and he like just imagine like being in the hospital on your deathbed, and all your dreams that you didn't act on come to your bedside and like, yo, like now we gotta die with you.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like you
yeah.
never did what you had to do to bring us to life, and now we gotta die with you, bro. When
And
I say that, brought tears to my eyes, bro.
bro, and in Islam, we believe in let your good deeds outweigh your bad deeds.
Mm-hmm.
I now do you do now do so much bad, and you now tore so much up. What good are you gonna do?
Right.
Let people
Miss
benefit
Carter
from your
confirmed that's Les Brown. I was right. All right, cool. Go ahead. I'm
yeah.
listening,
Let
bro.
people benefit from all your struggles in life, your mistakes. Like, you know what I'm saying? So they won't have to, with the whole say, I sold drugs, so hopefully you won't have to go through that.
Right.
And that's real, man. That's real, man. If you can, like, break it down to these youngest, man, teach them is a better way. I know it get hard. I know what it feels like. Being fucked up ain't a good feeling, man. It's not a good feeling at all, man. That shit is, that's a bad feeling.
You
But
know.
guess
Go ahead.
I guess what though? I'd rather be fucked up free than be rich and in jail, bro. At least
Right.
you got your freedom, man. As long as you out here, you got a chance. You ain't got as long as you got your sanity, you got fair health, and you free, bro. Those things we take so much for granted. So much I take for granted walking up and down the street. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Yo, you was like, damn, boy, I tell you, to be able to see, be able to smell,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to have a support system, have people that love you genuinely. A lot of people don't have that, man.
You said something a little back in the conversation. I kind of want to dive a little deeper into it because I want to drive that vision home for people that never been, for people who some people had their kids watch our conversations that we have too. You dig what I'm
Right,
saying? And you was talking about being in that cell. And when I asked you what was your longest bid, it wasn't necessarily as a flex. It was
right,
um it was because I wanted to drive this point home of let me put it this way. I didn't spend much time in a cell. But what I will say is this: the hardest thing for me when I was in jail was waking up. To me, that
yeah,
was the hardest part of jail, bro. Because when you sleep, you don't realize you in jail. You dig what I'm saying? And you open your eyes and you see them white cinder block walls, and
and shit.
you
I
smell another
realized,
man, and it's like, oh damn. Until you get used to that being your wake up. You dig what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah, you gotta get used to that shit, man.
yeah,
And
man.
it's messed up to say you gotta get used to it, man. When you in that joint, bro, man,
Bro, my
that
first time in, I was grown.
right.
You dig what I'm saying? I was grown. And
Yeah,
it's
me
so
too.
much jail etiquette.
Yeah,
It was so much jail etiquette that I didn't know
so
when I
much.
got locked up, right?
Yo, that shit is like being on another planet. It's really like being on another planet. Certain shit that you could do out here, you can't do in jail. All that
No,
dick
no,
eater,
no.
pussy, and all that. No, you don't play them type of games in jail. They kill you over that. Especially you getting them mount you up there with a motherfucker with a number start with AKT or ABC. Them motherfuckers got 30 and 40 years in. You
See,
know what I'm
that's something
saying?
I didn't come across. My
Yeah,
first time getting booked, I was in George Hill.
yeah,
And then my second time I was in CFCF.
right.
But when I was in George Hill, like the colors told what you was in there for. Like you You
Oh
whether you had
yeah,
on blues, greens, reds, like
yeah.
it pretty much let a nigga know what your case was, right?
Oh okay.
And bro, like my first night in the cell, because you know you do the 23-1, and then they find a block for you. They find you know what I mean, you come in there, everybody looking at you. You come in there with your cot and your little blanket and all that, bro. When the boy got up and took a piss on his knee,
Yeah.
I just automatically followed suit, bro. I ain't know why he was doing it.
It's,
I mean,
the
I
reason why
eventually found
they
out,
do that.
but
The reason why they do that is like cleanliness. What they say, cleanliness is next to godliness. You know,
mm-hmm,
in Islam, we believe in sitting down when we pee anyway.
right,
You know what I'm saying? Some people might be like, oh, what type of girly shit is that? It's so you won't get the gens, you won't get pee all over, you won't be splashing pee all over.
right,
You pissing directly into the bowl or whatever.
right.
Opposed to when you standing up and now it's splashing all over. I mean,
But
that's
see,
nasty.
now that's understandable. It was explained to me because of the noise. Boy
Because
told me like,
because of the noise too. It's
yeah,
because
it
of the
is like,
noise as
man,
well
like
though.
we in here, we like 2 feet away from the toilet, like niggas ain't trying to hear your shit splashing all over.
Splashing
You know
all
what I
over,
mean? So
yeah,
right. And
facts.
then like you out there eating and all that. I seen the towel
Mm-hmm.
go up, nigga, with the toothbrush and the towel and shit.
Yeah,
And the boy, old head was schooling me on everything. I'm like, yo,
yeah,
this is wild. Then he
yeah,
like, yeah, if you ever see a candy bar on your bed, man, don't eat that shit, man.
yeah. That's
Smack that shit off your bed. I'm like, what?
yeah, man. If a nigga do that for you, man, nigga definitely trying you, man. You want you.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
bro.
saying?
And that's the thing. Like, don't get me wrong. I laugh, I joke. I'm not no bitch ass nigga. You dig what I'm saying? But I was late on the jail etiquette. If boy wouldn't have been there to school me, I probably got caught up in some shit, bro.
Yeah,
Just being
yeah.
a regular
Facts,
nigga.
facts. You gotta be on high alert. You always like, even that shit carries with you so much. It carries on with you
Yeah.
even when you get out here. I had came home from the jail shit. And you know when you be watching TV, you say, "Oh, niggas institutionalized." So my homie Micah, he had took me to I had went to go see Cat Williams or whatever. Then I had went to Blue Martini, and when I went to Blue Martini, you know, I haven't been around this many people in years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I haven't been around this many people in years.
You was like
So
Damien in that joint, huh?
you constantly on alert. You constantly on that shit is real though, bro.
Who that nigga over
Because
there, bro?
I'm gonna break something down to you. You constantly on point and you on alert because when you in those jails, the moment you're not paying attention and you hear too much, like say if you in the yard and you getting ready to go back in, you hear shh, there's people feet moving or whatever, somebody getting banged the fuck out, somebody rumbling.
Right.
So instantly you always on alert. You kind of want to be the last person that walk out. You either want to be the first person or you want to be the last person because you don't want to be stuck in a crowd of full of niggas or whatever.
I want to highlight something that was just put in the comments by Sahid Kareem. I hope I pronounced that right. He said, "Be yourself, mind your business. Jail is a cakewalk." And I 100% agree with that because
Yeah,
that's how I
facts.
made it through, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like the first week, I ain't gonna hold you. The first week was a shock to me because, like I said, I was grown. I
right.
didn't like it wasn't no kid shit for me. Like I was a grown ass man when I
Yeah,
first went to
facts.
jail. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So that I ain't even gonna say the whole first week. I want to say like that first 3 or 4 days was a shock to me. But then once I got me a routine, you know what I mean? Because I knew the
yeah,
biggest thing was not to lose this. And
right,
I wasn't in there that long, but at the same time,
right.
I knew the biggest thing was not to lose this.
Lose
So
this,
I got
right?
myself a routine. You know what I mean? All right,
Yeah,
I know they pop the doors at this time and we eat and then we got locked back in. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And then we get, time out to do this. Then we got locked back in. So when we lock in, I'm going to do my workout. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
When we go
yeah,
out, I'm going to walk the yard. That's what I didn't befriend too many people, like other than people that looked familiar to me. You dig what I'm
no,
saying? When I went in and I
because
seen certain familiar faces, then
yeah,
like we was cool. Like we would talk to each other. People that you wouldn't talk to outside, you pass them in the street, but you recognize them
because I
in
mean,
the
yeah,
joint. It's like,
but you
listen,
better
bro.
not be trying to befriend all these different niggas. You don't know what niggas into.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know what
Right.
niggas into. And like I just said in the beginning of the meeting, we had with the beginning of the interview, when you befriend, when you take someone as a friend, you take on what comes with it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to be
Yep.
prepared to take on all that shit. But like I said, when I came home, I had went to Blue Martinis, and I had a little date with me, and we went down there, and instantly it was like I don't know if you ever been in there. It's not so big, but it's a bunch of people in that joint. So instantly I'm like, oh shit, I feel weird. It's feel, no, seriously, bro, this shit
No, I'm
feel weird.
laughing at Mr. Odom. Mr.
I
Odom
ain't,
said that Joe should get you sent out.
yeah,
Facts.
I don't like that shit. So it felt weird. Then that Meek song come on. Hold on, wait a minute. And motherfuckers start,
Going
I
crazy.
instantly I put my back against the wall. I'm like, and the girl laughing at me. She laughing like, what's wrong? She like, no, it's all right. I'm like, oh, fuck all that. It's all right. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
And
this is
plus,
called turn. It wasn't out when you was out here. It's called
yeah,
turn.
yeah. But not only just that, and I still got enemies in the streets. You still
Right.
got enemies. So, you know what I'm saying? A nigga take their chance right there and then. You know what I'm saying? For one, anytime I walk into any place, I like to scan the whole room. You know what I'm saying? You're going to scan the whole room. Wherever you walk in there, instantly, I'm going to scan who there and what's there and what they look like, who going on. Just being a street person, that's the first thing you better do. How many ways to come in this bitch? How many ways to get out this bitch? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Your safety is everything.
We didn't get a chance to finish about what you got going on though. You said that
Oh,
you
so I'm doing a documentary. It's a documentary about my neighborhood. It's called Welcome to the Hollow. And a lot of young boys that's from Wayne Avenue and a lot of other people don't know where they're from. They don't know the background. And they don't know what it took to make that neighborhood to what it is.
So when you say where you're from, you talking about as far as the neighborhood. You're not talking about as far as the culture.
I'm talking everything.
Okay.
I'm talking the neighborhood, but I'm talking everything.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking everything respectfully.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And everything that I am talking about, if we is talking about any street shit, is 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? 20, 30 years ago. Because what it is now is a joke. That shit a joke now. Like
Yeah.
everywhere you go, it's a joke now. The way this new generation make things, and I got the way things looking. And a lot of people don't even know that playground is the oldest recreational center in Philadelphia.
Mr. Kevin Smith said again, people, place, and things. Mr. Kevin Smith, you want to elaborate on that? That's something for us to build off of. Give us a little more insight on what you mean exactly by that, so we can build off of that. Go ahead, Bugsy. Go ahead. Finish what you were saying, bro.
But and it's like a tribute to all the fallen soldiers, to all my
Mm-hmm.
old heads. You know what I'm saying? I always was big on that. Just saluting the ones that made way for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the ones that came after me. You gotta salute the ones that made it, for you, man. The ones that, you can't say that, put it like this, that, I'm a strong believer in, as we was kids, we was always taught, be a leader, don't be a follower, be a leader, be a leader. Everybody say be a leader. In order to be a leader, you gotta be a great follower.
Right.
It all depends who you follow after. You know what I'm saying? So it's
True
like I just want
indeed.
to salute the ones that's down. Some are never coming home again. You gotta
Mm-hmm.
try to keep their names alive, man. People forget all about the ones that's down and people that's dead.
Now I got a question for you. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. These people that's down, not nobody personally, just in general.
Mm-hmm.
These people that's down, that for whatever reason they're down for, if they didn't contribute positively to the hood or the culture, what are we keeping their name alive for?
Game. Shit. The game of life, man. The game of life, man. And not to say
Elaborate.
we
That's what I'm
all.
saying. I'm giving you the layup. I'm giving you the alley oop off the backboard.
I feel you. The game of life, man. And you just like I understand you saying that everybody had a past, man. Everybody. That's not. I mean, that's not to say that there's still that same person or they had that mentality.
Right.
And a lot of these dudes was once, not even gonna say once, are very heavily respected, man.
Mm-hmm.
You
But
know what
I'm
I'm
saying,
saying?
what do shining a light on their story? Like, what does that offer to
Because
the
they was
change that
once
we're
in
trying
this
to
shit. They was
make?
once in this shit heavily, and they made it out of this shit. They made
Say
it
that
out of
again.
it, man. They was once in this thing you call the street life
Mm-hmm.
heavily, but they made it out of it. They made a whole 360, man. And they do make open up nonprofits. They do try to give back to the youth, the youngest.
Mr. Kevin Smith said, "Watch the people you hang around, the places that you go, and the things that you do." Yes, that is very important. Those are
For sure.
rules to live by. You can
For
learn
sure.
from the hood, good and bad. Mr. Kareem said it's more scarier than it's ever been. And I believe social media destroyed principles, morals. I strongly agree social media took the fun out of life. And
All
I
over
strongly
life.
agree with what you're saying as far as principles, Mr. Kareem, because not too long ago, I said that's the first thing that we got to come up with if we want to turn this around. We got to come up with principles that the whole culture is going to live by. T Mac corrected himself with the good. I got you, good brother. Mr. Edward Odom said, and a lot of these guys are knowledgeable. Ms. Lily says, I'm sure it's not easy to do, meaning get out of it. True indeed. No, understand to the people that's tuned in, I'm going against the grain and lining them up to say certain things because in the beginning of this conversation, I stated that we need to have these type of conversations out in the open for the culture to view and to see and to understand that these issues aren't secluded to just you. This is something that we're all going through. And I too agree that their story needs to be told because everybody's story is critical to fixing whatever the issue is because nobody has the answers. But
Right.
the one thing that I do agree with that you're talking about, Bugsy, and the people that's here that normally tune in, they can attest to this. We gotta start communicating. We gotta start
Communication.
communicating, and we gotta start like this documentary that you're talking about is major. I hope that I could be a part of it.
Yeah,
Even
facts.
even if I'm just speaking real quick, you know what I mean. You don't even got to put me in the credits, bro, because I'm not about the shine, bro. I'm about like changing people's mindset. I'm
Right.
about changing the
Right.
energy. I'm about changing people direction. You dig what I'm saying? So
Right.
I'm a fan of shining the light on everyone
Right.
because even if like let's just say we telling the story of somebody that's up for the rest of their life. They didn't get a
Right.
chance to turn things around. You
Right.
dig what I'm saying? But they get a chance to tell their story and what their ideas were that they never got a chance to act on.
Yeah.
That might spark somebody else to finish that, not necessarily in his like memory, but
Right.
just period. Like, damn, that's a good idea, OG. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Right.
yeah, I strongly agree that it's good that we show everybody's story that's somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
We can't
and then we also need to teach these youngins. It's a flip side to all that shit. You
exactly.
think because you see all the glams, the glory, and the glitter, and all that. Damn, it look decent, man. It takes a lot to get there. And when I mean a lot, man, you lose a lot. Family members. You know what I'm saying? You lose yourself as a person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? For one, when you so caught up in your vision is so cloudy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and then you moving so fast. Your vision is cloudy. You so much temptation, all this shit around you, so you don't even realize what you're doing. And then until you somewhere sitting down and it's taken all away from you, then you like, damn, you
What
know all the friendships I fucked up. I want to speak on upon like the Percocets and the juice thing. Like at one point in time in life, I was like heavy on the the perks and the juice. Like, you know, that was like,
Hey, Mr. Williams, you a 70s baby, ain't you? Mr. Williams a 70s baby?
yeah.
You can tell from what he put in the comments, bro. He used to ride the back of the 53, man. Cut it out, Mr. Williams. I'm talking about the back as in the bumper. Like, I ain't using my token. I'm going to hop on the back of this joint. That's Mr. Williams. Let me read some of these comments real quick. Edward Odom said, to get these young boys to stop, you got to get somebody to talk to them that walk the world they walk. Why the fuck would I listen to a motherfucker that never been through what I've been through?
Exactly.
Facts, Mr. Odom. Strongly agree. Mr. Kenneth Tower said, brother, I hope you keep it up because you're doing real good and this will be successful. Thank you, Mr. Tower. I appreciate that gesture. Thank you. Mr. James Williams, I really don't know nobody from my hood that wasn't somebody. You couldn't take a good part of them that you couldn't add to yourself. Hashtag Wayne Ave. Salute to you, Mr. Williams. I wish you had a face up there, man, so I can see if I know you. Lily, so many people have lost their lives to these streets. It's sad. True. Sahid Kareem put up the crying emojis. Mr. Odom, the flip side, that's why it's good to let the people in them jails tell it. Facts. Oh, James Williams said 88. He not a 70s baby. Yeah, 88, baby. He younger than me. Damn, boy, you talking like an old head, boy. Let me find out you and Ray about them old heads, boy. He ain't put no slang up in there. He just talking. He talking all proper. Let me find out. No, I'm just messing with you, Mr. Williams. I'm just messing with you. But one thing that we didn't get to dive into, we talked about it, and I typically don't like to, but at the same time, it's a part of what we're talking about, bro. The people we lost to these streets, man. I kind of want to direct this conversation to the younger generation that haven't got a chance to experience losing someone close to them yet. That shit ain't easy, bro.
Not at all.
That shit ain't easy. I don't care how tough you are. I don't care how many bodies you may have, if you have any at all. I don't care how many rumbles you done won. When you lose somebody close to you, I mean, and I'm talking about outside of just natural cause. I'm talking about to violence.
Yeah.
When you lose somebody close to you to violence, man, that's a different type of loss.
Different type of loss, bro.
That's a different type of loss. When you lose somebody due to natural causes, you kind of got a warning. You know what I mean? You kind of know it's coming sooner or later. You kind of get to prepare your feelings for that time.
Yeah. Right.
But when
it ain't sudden death.
Yeah, man. Like when you was just over such and such crib and they mom just put a plate on the table for you. And then y'all walked to the store to go grab a beverage and something went down and it happened to them and not you. That hurt, man.
Yeah, definitely hurt.
That hurt. And then you got to hear the people saying what they would have did if they was there.
Right. But it's all written, though.
It's all written. See?
It's all written, bro.
I wanted to stay away from the esoteric knowledge, the religion knowledge, but I strongly agree, man. It's already written. It's all written.
Yeah, it's all written.
Mr. Edward, these little niggas don't respect death. No bullshit.
They don't.
James Williams said, "It's Foo, Bugsy. You know who he is. It's Foo."
Oh, my young boy, Foo Money.
Mr. Odoms is agreeing. He said that shit hurt. No, these young boys not going to stop, man. It's like a trend now to kill. And you know what, Mr. Saheed? I'm gonna take it that you wasn't here earlier. I want to ask you, how do we get everybody on the same page? That's why we having these conversations. How do we get everybody to buy into? Listen, if you got beef, let's take it to the hollow and box it out.
Yeah.
And if you take that L, you just gotta take that L, bro. It don't make you less of a man.
They gotta take the old head to break it, but you gotta break that down to them, though, bro.
That's what I'm saying. How do we get that across to everybody?
The older guys, man, we gotta come together, though, man. On some real shit, though, man, we gotta come together and try to figure out a way. How can we break it down to them? You know what? Like I said, it's gonna take for people that got them big platforms, man. people like Meek, you know what I'm saying? And not to say Meek that he don't do it, because I do, you know, I salute him for what he doing. Like people like Wallow, people like Gil. It's going to take people with them big enough platforms that people look up to. Because like I said, they're not going to look up to you unless they know you really, and they know you from the streets, and they know you about, okay, is it those certain ones. But the ones that don't know you, then what? They got to
Right.
take for those people that, you know what I'm saying, on them big enough platforms to listen to them, though, man. It's like people kills me when they say, oh, y'all need to put the guns down, Philadelphia, this and that. But soon another out of town nigga come at him. What, nigga? I'm from Philadelphia. Nigga, you better check the murder rate.
Right.
You,
Like it's something, yeah, they use it as
you know what's the
bragging rights.
reason you sitting there talking put the guns down, but you quick to bring up the murder rate when someone's feel like they disrespecting, you know, your manhood, not your man, but you know, just you
I
as
ain't
a
gonna
man.
hold you, bro. I ain't relying on the celebrities, man. They lost cause as far as I'm concerned, bro.
Their money.
Yeah, bro, because they gonna do whatever they told, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. We said these. Mr. Sahid said these are the last days we living in. This Dunya, it gives me
For
chills.
sure. For sure.
Boy,
When men start dressing up like women start dressing up like men. When the kids don't have no respect for their elders, their parents, you know what I'm saying? It's right there. It's in the Quran, man. It's telling you, that's in the Bible as well. You're in your last days, man. You're definitely in your last days, man. You know what I'm
these
saying? So
youngins
it's
have
like it's
no fear.
best to
This
get
Mr.
your
Jamal
affairs in
Jackson.
order. Huh?
This my co-host from the Eagle show in the morning. He said these youngins have no fear of getting in trouble from their actions. They popping off 24/7. True
And
indeed,
it was so
because they're
crazy.
not getting in trouble.
It used to be a saying, niggas don't respect nothing but something. And that something was violence. They get turned on by that shit now. They don't even respect the violence no more.
Now answer me this. This is something that I don't hear a lot of us talking about, even though a lot of us predicted it 10, 15 years ago. Is GTA to blame for this?
I can't say GTA to blame it as the fucking parents, because you let your son play GTA.
No, I'm talking about as far as the influence though. Do you feel like Grand Theft Auto has influenced the
Yeah,
culture?
of course it plays a part. But they can't play it. They only allowed to play it when you allow them to play it. You know what I'm
Hold
saying?
on. Mr. Edward Odom, I watched all my big cousins, my dad, my uncles. I thought this was what I was supposed to do. And they all took care of their families and was great fathers, including Bugs. Shout
Right.
out to you, Odom. Shout out to you, Mr. Odom.
Chunk money.
When they changed the music and the messages in the music, shaking my head. We as black people are lost. Y'all don't understand. You know what, Mr. Kareem? We about to dive in. We got another half an hour. I got you, Mr. Kareem. We about to get into your type of conversation. These youngins ain't getting to no bread. They're just catching wreck. Hey, Kevin Smith, I strongly agree. And I've been saying that for years. I'm like, bro, it be 7, 8 niggas on the corner and only 2 of them getting money.
Yeah. Yeah,
like, bro, like y'all gotta
that's
move,
why I
bro.
said is it a job or you getting money? Some
Yeah,
people are
like y'all
born into it
drawn.
though.
Let
Some
me see.
people are
Mr.
born into
Williams
this
said,
shit.
Luke 16:13. No servant can serve 2 masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve God and mammon.
Facts.
Man.
Facts.
Hey, Mr. Williams, that is 100% facts, bro. And it's crazy that this stuff be right in the scripture and half of us don't read it. The fact that you just pulled that up, I don't know if you knew that off the top, but that's a good joint.
That's
But
say in Islam there's no room for none of that. That's why people gangs was never in no Philadelphia. Y'all niggas being followers, man. These young boys being followers, man.
oh,
They follow them
facts.
after Chicago. I mean, like I said, you got to be. It all depends who you follow after. I said, well, of course, in order to be a good leader, you got to be a great follower. But you're following after Chicago with this gang life and
This the thing
LA, and
though.
it's just like they're confused, man. They're
But this the
confused,
thing, and
bro.
this go back to something that you said earlier in the conversation. If they knew the history of these things they was following,
Right.
they would
That's
be
like,
carrying it a
bro, that's
whole
what
lot
I'm
differently.
saying, man. Philly niggas, we man, one point in time, man, Philly niggas was thorough, bro. The way we
Mm-hmm.
dress, the way we carry ourselves, the way we walk. the way, even that's the way we get our motherfucking haircuts, man.
But
You
no,
know what I'm saying?
what I'm saying is this.
Right.
I'm talking about from the aspect of like, all right, you see a lot of niggas today, they be color banging with the
Right.
blue and the red and all that. And when you get to how Bloods and Crips actually started, it started from them shutting down the Black Panther Party. You dig what I'm saying? You take Crip, for example, that stood for community resistance and progress.
Yeah, I
That
know.
meant if we was policing our own neighborhoods, we was taking
Right.
care of our own communities. That's how that shit started, bro.
Right. Right.
What's
Because
going on now is so
yeah.
far from what it was, bro.
Right. I know, bro.
And that's why I completely agree with what you were saying earlier
The
about
music.
everybody's story need to be told. Because you good? What happened? You fell?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
The
Everybody's
music.
story need to be told in the aspect of we need to know how some of this shit even started to begin with.
Right.
Let me see. We got some comments here. Mr. Williams said, meaning money, they only respect you if you got money. Now money is the new respect now. Facts.
Money and the materialistic shit. If you wearing Dior, or if you wearing this and you wearing that, if you think, like, a lot of people see that at one point in time I was like heavy with that fashion shit. So a lot of people think, oh, he ain't got no money no more, or you ain't doing this, you ain't doing that. Don't get me wrong. When it's time to do it, I'll still do it. But I got more bigger priorities, man. My vision is clearer. You know what I'm saying? My vision is clearer to oppose to when I was a young boy.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And you just spending frivolous money on stupid shit, man. Stupidity. Look at all that Nike shit that's going on. And they don't even respect us. They don't even respect us, bro. Look
at all.
At
none
all,
of them,
bro.
None of them lines.
They, and we'll still wear their shit. They could say fuck, or they could say fuck nigger. And we'll still wear that shit just because, oh, fuck them niggas. The bitches like it. Excuse my language, don't mean to call females bitches, but that's how the mentality of that's the way niggas think, man.
I want to run through these comments real quick, and I definitely want to dive into this topic for the last 20 minutes. Mr. Odom says, some of us learned it from home and it was by mistake. They ain't want us in it. But when you admire your own and not know niggas from the streets is even more appealing. I'm going to skip Mr. Kareem comment because that's what I'm going to dive into. Also from Mr. Odom, Bugs, all my older cousins, my pop used to be on my ass about the street shit. But I'm looking at them like, man, y'all taking care of everybody and everything. Fuck all that other shit. That's what I'm saying. If somebody was doing it right, it was hard not to want to do it too.
Yeah, but that's what I said. People, when I said the lady was like, you're a problem of it. People watches you. You got to be careful. You got to be careful. You got to be careful the way you carry it, man. You know what I'm saying? If you carry it respectfully, you guys, I'm not knocking on you got to do what you got to do. Who am I to tell you not to do this and not to do that? And your mom and your family fucked up starving, but all the killings and all the dumb shit, once you doing all that, there's no money to be made, man. You in here for the money, or you in here just to push shit down and do stupid shit, man?
I'm doing it because he
wrong.
did
it. Comes with it. It comes with the shit. But
I'm doing it because he did it.
Right.
Mr. Jamal Jackson said, definitely confused worrying over shit that they don't own, claiming and shooting over a block that's not yours. I don't care about, this is Tony Carter, I don't care about brand names nor materialistic BS. Dior and them don't respect us or the culture. I would never understand how people spend so much money on that BS. Now, let's get to Mr. Saheed. He said, shooting in crowds, shaking my head, not caring if kids or women. Music is the problem. Music. Listen, it's a trend to kill man. When I was coming up, it was about getting some money. Man, all my old heads, man, shaking my head. I'm 32. Salute to you, bro. Social media and this music, shaking my head, is Satan. Mr. Saheed, I'm talking to you directly, bro. Everybody is free to listen. Everybody is free to be a fly on the wall. But you really you peaked what I like to get into. I strongly agree with what you're saying. I commend you for being 32 and being as aware as you are already at the age of 32. If you're not aware of what I'm about to tell you, understand this. Between the ages of 28 and 33, you start to get a change.
That's right.
Mentally, bro.
Right.
And this is what they're talking about in the Bible. This is why Jesus died at 33 and resurrected. It has nothing to do with literal. It has everything to do with our journey that we experience, all of us. Between the age of 28 and 33, you start to have this awakening, bro. And you start realizing what's important and what's not important. To dive into what you just said, that's very important, bro, because that is very, very factual. You said when you was coming up, it was about getting money, and you said you 32. So I'm assuming, just roughly counting, you came up around right around the time when Biggie was about to get killed. The More Money, More Problems era. That was your era. Let me tell you about what they was rapping about in my era. They was rapping woke rap. Well, what's considered woke rap. They was rapping about self-destruction. Everyone's self-destruction.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even the gangster music had substance to it.
Right.
Before we even started this show, me and my girl was listening to the Wild Wild West.
Right.
The Wild Wild West. And I was pointing out to her, like, yo, these are gangster rappers, but look at what they're doing and listen to what they're saying. You dig what I'm saying? The substance was different. When I started becoming aware of everything that was happening, and I went back and it was like, damn, they did hijack the game and start giving us NWA. You know what I'm saying? They started giving us NWA and they started feeding that. And once they hijacked the culture, they started feeding us what they wanted us to be.
Right.
So to go into the esoteric knowledge part of what Saheed Kareem was saying, it's so meticulous that certain music is played at a certain frequency because it affects your energy. You know what I'm saying? Certain music is recorded at a certain frequency because it affects your energy.
Right.
We
Absolutely.
are directly affected by water, the sun, the moon, gold, and silver. That directly affects our mood. You dig what I'm saying? A lot of this programming that they show us is an exaggeration of what really is.
Right.
So I'm seconding what Mr. Kareem saying as far as the music is very satanic. And here's what we mean by satanic for those of y'all that don't know. Some people, they talking about that Illuminati and worship the devil. No, not talking about that. Satanic in the aspect of negative vibration. You dig what I'm saying? When I was out here doing my thing and I knew I was about to get crazy, I would play DMX. Why? Because that put me in the mood for what I wanted to do at that particular time.
Right.
I was in control of what I was listening to, but imagine to the people that aren't in control and they just turn the radio on. You know what I'm saying? And they're just getting affected by this radio programming. The same way you get affected by television programming. A lot of people will commit something, and I tell my peers this all the time. A lot of people will commit an act, and you'll say, yo, why'd you do that? And they be like, I don't even know. And you'll break it down to them, and they like, yeah, that makes sense, bro. I don't know why I did that. Because you were programmed.
Right.
You were acting like your favorite character from your favorite TV show and didn't even
hypnotized.
And didn't even dig it.
Yep.
So Saheed Kareem, I don't know how often this happens to you, but this is something that I like to do. I commend my people when they are exercising the positive things that we need, bro. And I can tell that you do your own research. You're not just repeating some stuff that you heard, man. Somebody may have piqued you, but then you went on and did your own digging and your own finding out. You know what I'm saying? So salute to you, good brother. Let me see. This beer he lean. Saheed
My
Kareem.
young bull beard. What's up, youngin?
And I want to be a part of trying to open up our people's eyes. Say that, bro. Link up with me, bro. Tap in. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram. We gonna build, bro.
But what up? Another thing I will say.
Hold on 1 second, bro. Let me just read these comments and I'm gonna give it right back to you.
Go
Edward Odom, dumbass Chicago music. Not just Chicago music, bro. NWA fucked it. That was the start. Tony Carter is agreeing with what I was just saying. Lisa Carter is agreeing with what I was just saying. Mr. Williams, I never could pronounce this part of the Bible, but I'm just gonna read it. It's better for a man to hear the rebuke of the wise than to hear the song of fools. And they just keep blasting the song of fools. so we can't hear the rebuke of the wise. How about that? We're not supposed to listen to fools' music. I strongly agree, Mr. Williams. I strongly agree. But here's the thing. A lot of us aren't aware of the power that we possess. We're not aware of that. So we allow ourselves to be controlled and manipulated by fools' music. The song is of fools. Everything is in the Bible. We have to understand the books that's there for our learning and development. Yes. I'm not going to dive too much into that, but yes, make sure you stick around because I love to talk about the Bible, good brother. But go ahead. What you was about to say, Bugsy?
Religion, though. Religion, you got to know your belief system, your Islam. If you got if your belief system is intact, it'll slow a lot of this bull crap up in the streets. You'll learn how to try to fade away from the streets and all the bullshit that's subhanAllah that comes with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If your religion is intact, if you're closer to God, the more you get closer to God, the more you want to separate yourself from the negativity and all the violence. You're trying to get right with God. They say you're not a man until you're 40. And that's facts, man. You don't really become a man until you're about 40. 20s, you playing around and you effing up and you doing this and that. 30, that's when you start to figure, like, all right, man, what am I going to do with my life? You still 1 foot in, 1 foot out. By the time you're 40, man, it's just like, man, this is when you're supposed to be really enjoying the fruits of your labor. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You're really supposed to be just getting ready to start to enjoy your fruits of your labor, though, man.
And that's why they try to dim our light, and we be struggling through our 40s. I'm talking about as a culture. Some of y'all might not be struggling in your 40s, but as a culture,
we
be
are
fucked up through our 40s, man.
We definitely are.
And it goes back to what we was just talking about as far as the esoteric part. The esoteric part to all this is they take away our imagination at a young age. That's your light, bro. Your imagination is your light.
Yeah.
And when they take away recess and they start taking away letting the kids express themselves through art and stuff like that, bro,
Yeah.
that closes
I was about to say that, bro. They don't have an imagination. A lot of them don't have an imagination, man.
And it trains you to be an obedient nigger.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? And here's something that a lot of people don't know. And I try to put this out there as much as possible. They calculate 4th grade African and male test scores to determine how many prisons need to be built in 10 years.
Damn, that's bad, bro.
So they all these numbers, these test scores and all that, they mean something. They mean something from the time you're in kindergarten. A lot of us don't dig that. We just know we need to score high on it, but we don't dig what those numbers actually mean and how they calculate up. Here, this is why you may have the same people in your class in the 1st and 2nd grade, and then you notice you get to the 3rd grade, 4 or 5 people in a whole nother different 3rd grade class. And then you got some people that's different in this 3rd grade class, and it's like, oh, we've been together all this time. No, those was the CD kids. They going in a different direction in life.
Yeah.
So we gonna put all them together. Right. People don't dig that they be doing this to us from a very young age.
And especially when this COVID shit hit, they just passing them kids through, man. Passing them through, man. It's crazy, man. Passing them through, man.
That takes me back to another point I had made. You know, they told us a dream that we had to go through school, go through college, then go get a 9 to 5 with our college degree. And a lot of us found out that, you know, we go through school, we go through college, and then you come out with that college degree and you can't get a job because you don't have experience. So you end up working with the people that dropped out of school, thinking that you're better than them. You know what I mean?
Right.
And at the end of the day, here's a point that I pointed out a few weeks ago, and I want your reaction to this, Bug. I want to know what you think about this. When they first started colleges, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you know, black people built universities and we wasn't allowed to attend. Okay, so when we first built these universities and these colleges and all that, Where did the college professors get their degrees?
Life, shit.
You dig what I'm saying? So hold up. I gotta obtain something that my teacher don't have. This is how this started. The original professors didn't have degrees.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? And we
Right.
built those schools and wasn't allowed to go there. It's all what the point I'm getting at is all a game.
Yeah.
It's all the trap.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? The moral of the story is be a good person and look out for you and yours. And what I
Yeah.
mean by be a good person is we all know internally what's right from wrong. We all hear
Right.
that voice inside.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? Mr. Kareem said there won't be any schools soon. That's right. They're trying to switch it all to the meta. That's why they tried it over the past few years to see how you operate by going to school remotely.
I
And
know
you
that's
see,
crazy though.
Miles was walking around with their boobs all out.
Something I want to tap into, man, and it's like my son, right? He's in 10th grade, so he stopped wanting to go to school physically, so he could continue on going to school on a in house or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Yo, what are you doing?" I said, "These last 4 years of your life is going to be very important, man, for you to go to school." I said, "Some of the people that you're going to school are going to become your brothers, man. It's going to open up so many doors for later on in life for you. You're going to miss out on having a prom. Just communication with people. You know what I'm saying?"
Shout out to what Mr. Williams just said. He said they had a curriculum for you to follow. That's why it's called your doctorate, because you have been successfully indoctrinated. Shout out to that comment. Mr. Smith said, and when our kids get caught up in the streets and put into the system, everything is based off your IQ and BHE. BHE meaning behavioral health evaluation. He also said college isn't for everyone. I believe in trade schools. If you learn a skill, you can make a living for yourself. That's what it's all about. Shout out to you, Mr. Smith.
Absolutely.
Saheed also said, I honestly do not believe in school. I'm with you there. That's how the system is. I'm with you there, Mr. Kareem, on the strength of I haven't used nothing that I learned after the 6th grade.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, far as when I mean by school, the whole experience, the people that you ain't, yo, how many
The
people
whole
that you went to
experience
school
is a trap, bro.
How many people you went to high school with that you are friends with now? Whether it was your old girlfriends, people that you kick it with every day.
Quite a few.
Say if me and you went to school and I may now catch you later on down life and you own, say, a Chick-fil-A or
Right.
whatever, and I'm trying to get into that business, due to the fact that I went to school to you, you're willing to share that information with me. You know what I'm saying? That type of
It's a
stuff.
little
Like,
deeper than that, bro.
I'm
It's
just
a little
saying though,
deeper than
just
that.
relationships, bro. It's bonds, man. Man, listen, it's bonds, man. It's some people that I went to school with that's my brothers for life, bro. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
I
That's my
feel you.
brother.
I feel you. But school, when we saying that we not really believing in school like that, we talking about as far as the
I know,
education
far as the career,
aspect.
I know. I'm you talking about the learning
That's
curriculum.
that.
I
It's slowing.
understand
It
it.
slow us down, bro. Because a lot of us, let just real quick, a
Yeah.
lot of us, let's just say we got into the field at 12 years old. You said
Right.
you like fashion, right?
Yeah.
Let's say school, as far as education go, was over at the 6th grade, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the 7th grade was college or trade school.
Right.
The school that you attend is based on the career path you want to take.
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't draw school all the way out to 12 years, bro, a lot more of us would be successful. You dig what I'm saying? It's real. School is really to make us become obedient niggas. It's to make sure it's instilled in you to be up at
Okay.
this time and
Okay. I
show up
see
at
what you're
this
saying.
time and
Right.
listen to authority and do
Right.
this. But they say it's about the education. But how much education do they give us after the 6th grade that we use?
Yeah. I feel
You know what I'm saying? Instead of teaching us how to deal with money, instead of
Right.
teaching us how to deal with assets, instead of teaching us how to deal with property, you know what I'm saying? They don't teach us about the real things that we're going to face as soon as we graduate.
Well, the
They let
streets
that
told
hit
me
us in
all that
the face,
anyway.
huh?
The streets taught me all that anyway.
But now you got to go to the aspect of how many people were scared to jump off the porch.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Well, life
it's
is
all a
the best
trap.
teacher, man.
Say that again.
I said life is his best teacher.
Oh, true indeed.
You know what I'm
True
saying?
indeed. We got about 5 minutes left. Is there anything else that you want to touch on? You want to express? You can tell people where they can follow you and find you and get in contact
I
with you.
You can follow me at SUG Bugsy. Um, I try to give motivational, you know, messages every day, man, because there's so much people are going through, and I can relate to everything. A lot of things people going through, as far as the mental health. Even with me losing my leg, that shit fucked me up mentally. We stressing. How can we get through this? Like you said, together. I got I just did a movie. We just turned Old Head, the TV show. We turned it into a movie, so that should be coming out on Tubi or some major platforms around like I guess sometime next year. Um, I will keep you informed that the documentary. I'll definitely just follow me, and I would like for y'all to tap in on that. Uh, Basically, man, if you're ever going through something in life, man, just be grateful. That's not put it like this. Let's not concentrate on what we don't have and be grateful for what we do have. Doesn't mean to settle. Still go and get it. Go after your dreams. Just know that you can do whatever you put your mind to and put your heart to. First and foremost, you gotta have faith in the law and you gotta have faith in yourself. Because if people could tell you you could do this, you can do that. If you ain't got faith in yourself, that don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have faith in yourself. You gotta have faith in God for one. You gotta have faith in yourself. Support system, man. Let's learn how to support each other instead of always tearing each other down. You know what I'm saying? You know, people will be willing to take someone's life, or want to take someone's life for you, or willing to do all this illegal shit for you. Not to say that's what it was, but but when it's time to support something positive or you're trying to do something, you don't get that type of support, and
Right.
that's bad, man. That's bad, man. Like, let's hold each other down, man. I appreciate for everyone tapping in with me on that. I got a lot more to offer. Um, Eventually, later on down the line, so many people tell me I need to write a book. I'm gonna write it eventually. Inshallah, I'll write a book about my life. You know,
Start
it'll
writing the
be coming soon.
PowerPoints, bro.
Basically, keep
You got
working.
to start. You got to
You gotta
start,
work,
bro.
man. You gotta work. Cause it's like I now been thinking about this for years and years and years. I said, man, fuck that, man. It's time to, subhanallah, it's time to put it in gear. You gotta work, man. You gotta work. Keep positive people around you. Keep people that's motivated. You are what you hang around. Trust me. You around a bunch of killers, you gonna become a killer. You around niggas that's getting some money, you gonna get some money. You around positive, man, you gonna be positivity, man. You
Uh,
know,
Go ahead.
another thing I got going on, I'm about to start messing with them dogs as well. My bro, you know what I'm saying? M. Dot
Yeah,
Bullies, Hollow Bullies, man. Y'all follow that, man. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? KOG, you know what I'm saying? With the music side of things, man. I just want to get a shout out to the Hollow, man. I want to get a shout out to Logan. I just want to get a shout out to all my family and friends. Uh, Thank you for support, man. It's like I'm a work in progress, man. Every day is a battle, not the one to jump in the street shit, man. Like
Right.
I said, it's a battle, man, when you got bills and you got people that depend on you. And not only that, you like to live life. And when you used to living life a certain way, it's hard, man. It's hard not to, like, you be like, damn, it's hard. But you just keep your faith in God, man. And,
Um, Let me read some of these comments real quick. Jamal Jackson said, "Respect. Old Head series is a good one. Glad you told me it was a season number 3. Salute to you, Bugsy." Mr. Sahid Kareem said, "I needed to hear this, and I thank Allah I tuned in with you guys." He put the strong emoji and the heart emoji. Go ahead,
thank
carry it on, bro.
Yeah, but I'm working, man. I'm working. It's time to stop bullshitting, man. That goes for everybody, man. We all got a due date, man, and we are more closer to death.
Let
So
me
if you got
address this
something
real quick. Go ahead. I'm sorry. After you're done, I want to address this because that's definitely a good comment.
If you got something to offer when people could benefit from everything that you've been through in life, man, share it, man. Don't be afraid to share it, man. That's all I got to really say.
Okay, don't leave me just yet though, bro, because I gotta give you your flowers before you leave. But I want to address this. Mr. James Williams said you don't need school to become an entrepreneur. Most entrepreneurs drop out of school, but you do meet a lot of people in school. I understand what he's saying though, far as future context can gain from school. True indeed, Mr. James Williams. And I just want to point out that it wasn't to disagree with what Bugsy was saying, but here's the thing. If you're going to when you realize you're going to school for networking, you start getting affiliated with sororities and stuff like that. And I'm talking about college and all that, but you start getting affiliated with the Greek stuff because that's how you get into them big jobs. Trust me on that. Them people that got them big jobs, them 6-figure jobs, they Alpha Psi Beta, Pot Puda, and all that old other stuff.
But that's why I said it's so important. So when you in school, or whether you go to school to hard knock life,
no, that's what I'm saying.
You network with one another. You know what I'm saying? It's important.
It wasn't to disagree with you.
Right.
It wasn't to disagree with you. It was just to drive home the point that me and Mr. Kareem was saying as far as the education
right, okay,
aspect of school.
Right.
But I strongly agree with network. It's just like jail. School is like jail.
It's life, period.
You go to jail. Some niggas go to jail and meet the plug that changed their life.
But you understand that's what jail is.
Yeah.
Jail is nothing but a university for criminals. You know what I'm saying? That's why you think in the feds they bounce you all around the motherfucking United States, man, all around the country, because they don't want you to get dug in too long, because you got lawyers, doctors, professional men, professional
behind them
man.
bars.
You learn so much once you start to rubbing shoulders with certain people. They already know. You know what I'm saying?
And they give you game just because you cool. Game they wouldn't give you outside. I'm talking about them lawyers and doctors that he talking about.
Yeah, but they just like your style.
It's right. That's what I'm saying.
You chose a different profession than them. That's all. People just like you is they look past that you sold the drugs and all that shit. Look at doctors. Doctors is the biggest drug dealers there is. With all this Percocet and all this shit going on out here, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing I want to say, man. Women, I love you women, man. Be grateful for what God had blessed you with. If God didn't bless you with a big ass, then go do some squats. Because one thing for sure, seriously though, bro, because you go in and go get that motherfucking operation, now you're hooked on Percocets. You know what I'm saying? And that shit lead to other shit, man.
Facts.
And not only just that, you could die on that operating table. It's not guaranteed that you coming back once you close your eyes. All that worth just having a big ass and you want some attention.
And you don't see too many people getting into old age with all that operating shit on them.
Yeah, bro, I ain't tripping with that, man.
But we 3 minutes over time. I want to give you your flowers before we get out of here. Bugs, I met you this year officially. You dig what I'm saying? Nothing but good vibes since I met you, bro. Nothing but positive conversations, man. Never once have I felt uneasy in your presence. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I appreciate you taking out the time to come on here tonight and being transparent, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how major it is to you, but knowing how this thing go, bro, that's big, bro. It's a lot of people who've lived the same life or very similar life, seen very similar things, and they struggle with public speaking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So to be able to say, look, this is what I did, this is what I went through, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not shaming from it, I'm not running from it.
I ain't running from it.
I did what I did. But this what made me me, and this what I'm trying to do.
That's right.
You dig what I'm saying? So to come up here and be transparent like that, bro, and share your story with myself, with my supporters, with the supporters of the network, with the people that you brought along, I hope that they subscribe and they, continue to tune in. I want to thank you, good brother. I
I
really
appreciate
appreciate you,
you.
dog.
I appreciate you even more, bro. And that's what it's
Salute.
all about, binding, unity,
Yes,
man.
sir.
If we can help one another, man, let's change this shit, bro.
Yes, sir.
Let's change it, man. Could
Yes,
you
sir.
imagine? Let me just say one thing. Could you imagine how what they say back in those days when they had Black Wall Street, if it would have really came together? Just imagine if they could. I want to write a movie about that. What if this
You know
shit
what's crazy?
really
Hey,
happened
Big
right
E.
now? What
Big
if
E,
it
you
was
still
happening
tuned
now?
in? Big Exclusive, you still tuned in? Because you know what Black Wall Street was missing, bro?
What's that?
Force. They didn't have no protection.
Mm. And we the
That's a little
biggest.
insider
And
here on
look,
the
so
network.
crazy, and we the biggest force that's out here.
Right. But we're not aware of it as a culture.
Yeah, man. But
I don't understand how
this ain't
these
gonna be the
women
last
destroy
time
their
I tap
beautiful
in
bodies.
with you, man. We gonna work, man. And that
For
goes for
sure.
anybody else, man. Don't be afraid to open up, man. I'm trying to work with y'all, man. And any of you big fellas, man, got a problem with dressing, man, with the suits or whatever, man. Tap in with me or tap into my brother Style by Young, man. I appreciate you, bro. It's always a
Thanks, dog.
pleasure, man. Always a
I'm gonna run
pleasure.
through the list of shows and then we out of here. Once again, on Sundays you have Philadelphia Eagles Game Day Special, hosted by myself, Jamal Jackson, Key Holmes, and we have special appearances by Big Roll and Angry OG. Monday through Friday, every 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., sometimes until we have Keeping It Real with Big Roll in the mornings, every Monday through Friday, starting at 9 a.m. On Tuesday evenings, we have the Big Exclusive podcast hosted by Angry OG, Big Exclusive, and comedian Top Flight every Tuesday at 7 p.m. On Wednesday evening, we have The Formula hosted by Angry OG, followed up by The Rabbit Hole 13, hosted by Taj Mahal, Bianca Monroe, and they call him Mr. Cheese. That's every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Oh, but wait, there's more. On Thursday night, we have Foreplay with B. That's Miss Bianca Monroe. She comes with her twins, the co-hosts, Coco and Chanel. That's every Thursday night at 9. And for that show, make sure you put the kids to bed because it gets raunchy. Anybody that may be interested in joining the network, you have any ideas, feel free to reach out to us. We are looking for a host for a midday show. And if you think that's you, send us a 1 to 2 minute video audition. Send it via inbox or email at therealbigexclusive@gmail.com. Tap in and join the team. Hashtag Big Exclusive Network. With that being said, once again, I want to thank you for tuning in today. I want to thank you for your time, Mr. Stand-Up Guy Bugsy. I'm Poppy Montega. This is the Poppy Montega Show on the Big Exclusive Network, and we out.